Right, welcome back. We've got our crypto market update. It's been a busy last few weeks, so we'll get into some of the news. We'll look at some of the charts, but there's not a whole lot of news to talk about. Bitcoin did pass 100,000. It pulled back, went past 100,000 again. Now we're in another pullback, but I still think the outlook for the next year looks very strong. But we are going to go over some potential bear cases out there. So we already talked about Gary Gensler's resignation. We've already talked about the crypto-friendly administration coming in. Another new piece of news is that MicroStrategy is included into the NASDAQ 100. They keep buying Bitcoin. I couldn't tell you if what they're doing over there is great or the next kindling for the pop of this cycle. It seems like this could either end really well or really bad. I'm not too sure. Only time will tell. But when I listen to Michael Saylor, I agree with a lot of the stuff he says. But when he's leveraging his company's balance sheet to the amount that he is for Bitcoin, that's the part I'm not sure about. So we'll see. We are seeing more and more shift for friendly crypto regulation. So there's some news out of the UK. They're going to be adopting some new rules. And we talked about it in the United States. Some of the appointees from the new administration are going to be crypto friendly. Now, what they do, what new laws, what regulation they put into effect, we will have to wait and see. But there's just more growing sentiment there that this is actually becoming a reality. Let's see here. So the bear case, some of the new things we have on here is this cycle could end any day. Now, I don't expect it to end until the end or sometime past the summer of 2025, but we never know. FTX happened overnight and the whole cycle collapsed instantly. So I just want everyone to start having that thought in the back of their mind and being prepared to take profits, being prepared for this could end any day now. Now, for Bitcoin, long run ahead of us. But for all the other coins, I just think people should be on thin ice and prepared there. I'm not selling anything right now, but I'm getting prepared to take profits. Now, I'm going to take profits when certain coins hit my price target, or if something really bad happens and it looks like it's time to get out, I'm going to liquidate everything besides Bitcoin. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. So the bull case, everything's the same that we've talked about, but the regulators accepting the space looks really good. And the global liquidity rising, one thing with the Federal Reserve meeting last week is this may be slower than expected. So the Fed having to turn on the money printer may be a little slower than expected. They're still cutting rates. They may start cutting rates at a slower pace, and they may not be buying any assets for their balance sheet anytime soon. So that's a good thing, means the economy is strong, but global liquidity and Bitcoin are highly correlated. Bitcoin price going up and the crypto prices going up. So this may be a little slower than expected, which means the extent of which we get a peak in the bull market may be a little slower than we expect. So not a big deal there. But action items, things are still the same. Dollar cost average on the major coins. I still think we're in a major bull cycle. I would limit trading, especially right now with Bitcoin kind of going up and pulling back, having a hard time breaking out to the next leg. But we're just near 100K. So we'll look at the market here because there is a lot of blood in the market. But when we look at Bitcoin, it's 95,000. It's like that's still phenomenal. But I'm watching Bitcoin to make its next move. I think 115 is the next target, then 125, and then we'll be in price exploration again. So I'm limiting trading and I'm waiting for Bitcoin to really make a next big move before I get into some of these alternative cryptos out there. So some of the other rules we have is have a plan on taking profits. I had some crypto on exchange last week that I had orders in to sell. They did not fill, so I'm being patient. I'm going to pull those off exchange, and I'm going to wait again until we get near my sell target, and then from there I will look to unload some of those coins. I was dabbling into some of these garbage meme coins, liquidated all of those back into Solana. So a piece of my Solana bag that I have, I do trade on the Phantom wallet and trade some of these meme coins. When the market looks sketch, I'm out. I'm out. I don't gamble in these meme coins unless the trend is my friend. Right now, the trend is iffy. I'm not sure where the trend is. Are we in a small downtrend, or we're not in an uptrend right now? Longer term we are, but short term, the last couple of weeks, maybe even the last month, the altcoins are not in an uptrend. So I'm not participating in those markets. I am buying a little bit of Bitcoin on the dips. I'm buying some Ethereum on the dips, and I'm buying some Solana on the dips. Everything else, it needs to be a real juicy dip for me to look to get in. Long-term holds off exchange. So when I'm buying my Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, I'm taking them off exchange unless I'm getting ready to sell or to trade into some other coin. So I wanted to put up, this is what my crypto portfolio looks like. This does not include any IBIT or the Ethereum ETF that I hold in retirement accounts. Now, when it comes to those two assets, IBIT and the Ethereum ETF, I'm never going to sell my IBIT. I will sell calls against it and possibly get some called away if the market rip roars. And the Ethereum ETFs, I plan on holding until ETH is at least $6,000, and then I'll look to take some profits. If not, I'm fine holding, even if it's 5-10 years. But as far as my actual crypto that I hold, it's still 38% Bitcoin. Right now it's 20%, 23% Ethereum, 20% Super, which is a gaming token, and then about 17% Solana. And then I have some Dogecoin that I bought way back in the day. I just found it on my Robinhood account. So I'm not super spread out. These coins I have a lot of conviction in. If the cycle were to end today, I would probably look to trim all of these positions besides Bitcoin, maybe even cut them all. But I don't know when the cycle's going to end. I'm waiting to take profits on these when we get a nice big juicy pump. We're nowhere near there yet. We need to reclaim all-time highs and then make the next leg. And then I'll start to look to sell 10%, 20% in chunks. So that is my take profit plan. I will never sell any of my Bitcoin because I want to get as much Bitcoin as possible for my lifetime. So I'm done selling Bitcoin, done for life. So that's it. Everything else, it's fair game. When I see the cycle start to conclude, I'll be out of all of these things. I'm not going to hold Ethereum for a big drawdown. I'm not going to hold Super for a big drawdown. I'm not going to hold Solana for a big drawdown. I will wait for the market to completely collapse, and I will start to dollar cost average in the bear market like I've done in the last cycle. But I'm not going to hold them through a 60% drawdown. I'm not going to sell the top either. That's not possible. To buy the bottom and sell the top, not possible. I'll be selling all the way up and then cut on the way down. So long-term holds, Bitcoin, trades, Solana, Ethereum, Super. Themes that I like, AI, gaming, DeFi, and now I'm dabbling in the memes. Now these are not long-term. This is for this cycle to trade around. These are dangerous. When I see things look choppy, I'll be out of all of these and I'll be buying Bitcoin on the dip. And then when we get back into the bear market, I'll be buying Bitcoin every day or every week. And then holding on until we get back into the golden era, which we're in right now. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of these charts. So let's take a look at the heat map real quick. This is a weekly heat map. Everything red across the board. Bitcoin only down 6%, but you're seeing some of these other altcoins. Solana, which you can't see, is down 17%, and then everything else. Pick your token is down. So profit taking across the board. And if we look at 1 month, still decent amount of Christmas colors out there, red and green. So some coins are holding up stronger than others, but there's still a lot of selling out there even in this past month. So something like Dogecoin is down 20%. Solana's down 30% in a month. And now let's go ahead and look out 3 months. So 3 months, everything is in the green. So that's good to see. So we are in a pullback. Bitcoin up 50% in 3 months. Wow. So this is good. This is healthy. This is what you like to see, a nice little juicy pullback. Now, where does it stop? I don't know. We are looking at Bitcoin here on a daily chart. This purple line here is a volume weighted average price from the election. It's nice to see that we're staying above this. Once we dip below this, look out below, we could be touching in the $82,000 range. Who knows? But to me, on the daily, this looks like a very good possibility. And if we break that, not going to be good, 70,000. And if Bitcoin gets down to 80,000 and 70,000, what do you think some of these altcoins are going to be looking like? Not good. So that's why for me, I'm okay buying some Bitcoin that I'm going to hold for life. But when it comes to buying something like Super, I'm not buying too heavy in that, or even Solana. I'm cautious here. Now, Solana looks like it could be ready for a bounce, but wouldn't surprise me if we get a huge drop if Bitcoin drops. Everything else is going to fall with Bitcoin if Bitcoin falls even more. So I would just be careful. I am getting money ready to redeploy in the crypto market, because right now crypto looks more appealing than some of the stock market opportunities out there. But if the stock market pulls back, I think we're going to see the crypto market keep pulling back. So we're kind of in like a wait and see game where we're at the top. We're just starting to pull back. I want to see a deeper retracement before I get real aggressive. But it also wouldn't surprise me if dip buyers come in and push the market back up. But we need to wait and see. We need confirmation either way. So let's just not get too crazy here. Ethereum is fallen below the volume weighted average price from the election, which is not good. So it's showing a lot of weakness here. I don't have one on Solana, but that is weak as well. Actually, I do. That is it. It's way below the anchored from the election. So that's not good. So Solana, a lot of weakness. Ethereum, weakness. Bitcoin holding up, but looks like if we break below this, it's going to be some pain in the market. I did mention in my stock market update over the week that I did get stopped out of Coinbase. Now, some of these crypto stocks, again, we could get a bounce here, or I could see us drop back down to $200. And if it's in $200, I think that's a good opportunity. But I'm not going to be aggressive here at 260, 270, because there's a very high likelihood if the market keeps being weak that we have a bigger dive. And that's basically the case for all of these altcoins. So I would just be careful. If there's something that you have high conviction in, I think this is a great buying opportunity, but this could also be the beginning of a deeper retracement. So that's the point I'm trying to get across here. And then let's go ahead. That's the bear thesis, but here is some bull food for you guys out there. So this is a graph here of the inflows for the gold ETF and then the Bitcoin ETF. So you can see that the Bitcoin ETF is brand new and it's almost doubled already the assets under management for these BlackRock ETFs. So gold took a long time to get up to $30 billion. Bitcoin, boom, instantly right there. This just shows you the demand for Bitcoin. Now, to me, this is super, super exciting. The demand is there. The institutions are ready. They're waiting. And there's still a lot of people that have their hands tied until we get some real regulatory clarity that before they can pile into this space in general. So that is the big bull thesis for 2025, is there's going to be some more clarity and some of these big players are going to be unshackled and they can dabble into a Solana ETF, an XRP ETF, Ethereum options, all kinds of stuff. And that's going to be big dollars coming into the space. Let's see. This is another good graphic here. So the 4-year cycle, right? We tend to have the halving year is year 2 of the cycle. That's this year. Next year, we're heading into the 3rd year of the 4-year cycle. Look at these previous 3 years. Big pump, blow off top. Where are we gonna be here? But then we need to be prepared for the bear market after. So this is my whole point here is we may have a 3rd year of the bear market or the bull market that looks like this, just huge rips. We may get one that's an FTX happens, it's short-lived, and then we immediately go into the bear market after. So that's where I'm saying it's time to get prepared for the party to end. I still think we have 6 to 8 months, maybe a year, but you never know. Last cycle, everyone thought this is it. There's no more cycles. It's a super cycle. We're going on forever. Boom, Sam Bankman-Fried just blew the whole thing up. And Three Arrows Capital, all those hedge funds blew it all up. So that could happen any day now. I don't expect it to be right now, but it's a risk that we need to be prepared for. And this is just a funny little graphic. Remember the crap that happens in crypto. There's going to be another thing, right? So if people say that you're lucky you bought Bitcoin and it's up, you're super lucky. It's like, well, we've had multiple exchange collapses, China banning it. I don't remember what the ICO crash is, the pandemic crash, the FTX collapse, and then here we are in 2020. Bitcoin's near 100,000. But there's going to be another calamity is basically what I'm just trying to get people prepared for. And if that calamity happens, what are you going to do with your tokens? What are you going to do with your stuff? Are you going to hold on to it? Are you going to watch some of these coins go from $1 all the way down to 12 cents? And are you going to be buying all the way down? Or are you going to be prepared to jump ship and just accumulate more Bitcoin and say, I'll be prepared for the next cycle? So that's really where my head's at. And that is hopefully not for a while, but just try to mentally prepare everybody that, hey, we see a pullback like this. This is typical bull market stuff where you get a nice little pullback and then we shoot up to the moon again. But we've seen it before where things just rapidly devolve and then we're in the bear market. So I don't think we're on the way down here, but we're probably, hopefully, somewhere like this where we have a nasty retracement and then we make our next big move and then things get even choppier. So you're going to see multiple of these large sell-offs. And so when we have these large sell-offs, just be prepared that the floor could fall out or we could make our next leg up. So that's really the point of this video. It's just to get people mentally prepared for what is to come. And if you're in big profit, don't be afraid to take profit. Don't be the guy that has a screenshot of some coin that is now 1 cent where you had 1,000 of them for $10 and you just watched it fall all the way down. Cash in, baby. So that's all I got for you guys. Hope this helps, and we will do another crypto update when it is needed. So that's all I got. Time to watch some football. Peace out.